A U.S. Air Force pilot apparently had a close encounter with a UFO, leaked air traffic control audio reveals. This shows a UFO incident was reported. An experienced Air Force pilot flying a Beechcraft 350C on a secret flight through a controlled airspace in California on September 17 last year, when he claimed to have breezed past a football-sized UFO. That's how huge it was. According to his call with air traffic control, which had been leaked by obtained News Nation, the jet was flying at 20,000 feet, almost came into contact with the unidentified object on what was a clear afternoon at 2:30 p.m. on that day. It was a tic-tac type of UFO. The pilot, identified as Troy 21, can be heard saying to the controller, "This is going to sound weird, but I just had something pass underneath my wing." He added, "Maybe a football-sized object right under my wing." Animated video footage replicates the bizarre moment, which shows a cylindrical-looking object zooming past the plane. The news outlet reported the jet was on an undisclosed military-related operation involving the Department of Homeland Security when this incident occurred. The air traffic controller could be heard asking the pilot if he thought it was a drone, to which he replied, "I have no idea. I've got my sensor operator looking at it on the camera right now." It was like a dark gray cylindrical object, and it was probably the size of a football, and it passed by maybe 10 feet under our right wing, he said. Roughly 2 minutes later, the airman tracked the object and estimated it had flown about 60 miles away from his current position. Later in the leaked audio, another air traffic controller discussed the reports of a UFO before saying, "That's all taken care of now." A former FBI agent and UFO investigator, Ben Hansen, who shared the audio exclusively on Banfield, explained the aircraft was equipped with a very sensitive and complex radar array used to track drug traffickers. He also noted the encounter was significant, what with the object traveling through a controlled airspace in an area with no reported air traffic. So when they called this thing in, it's broad daylight, they got a good look at this thing. Hansen said, "This cylindrical dark object that passed underneath my wing was so close, so obviously you can see there are big problems with that happening in a controlled airspace like they were, and they weren't notified of any air traffic that was supposed to be in the area." Hansen commented on the speed of the mysterious object and its high altitude, saying it was unlikely to have been a drone, considering it was in a controlled zone. He said it could be, but it's very rare. But hobby drones can go up that high. Obviously, military can as well. This occurred near what we call military operations area, but it was not in that airspace. So anyone who was flying something to test a commercial type of drone or something would have had to call it in. The other thing that is very interesting about this is you hear them tracking this object about 60 miles away because they've got their own airborne radar, and the pilot calls back. However, Hansen said it's debatable whether the radar could pick up something so small from 60 miles, but said if true, that would mean the object would be traveling at Mach 2. It would absolutely eliminate the drone theory, in his opinion. So it's very spooky. Drones don't go Mach 2. And this is from Liv Bridge on Unilad on Collective Spark. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.